Hello everybody, welcome to the first segment of What Went Wrong. And today we will be kicking it off with talking about what went wrong with the new Disney Plus original. Well, not really original, I mean it just kind of got pushed back. But Artemis Fowl, which is the film adaptation of the popular novels of the early 2000s. And you probably heard, it didn't do that well. So today we're going to be talking about everything that went wrong in that film. So without further ado, let's go into the first reason why it probably did such badness. That was grammatically wrong, but it's okay. Development hell. For those of you not familiar with production terminology, development hell is a term used for when a production, like a video game, a movie, a play, a book, anything in general, is just stuck in a area of pre-production for an extremely large amount of time. And normally, when something is stuck in production and development hell, it normally doesn't end well for that film. I mean, there's a lot of good movies that came out of development hell, like Avatar, Mad Max Fury Road, but a lot of times they just come out like a Mod Podge and just a bunch of shoved in there because there's so many people working on it, so many ideas, it doesn't all fit. And that is exactly what happened with Artemis Fowl. It was stuck in development hell for almost 20 years. Ever since the book came out in 2000, they were wanting to make a adaptation of it, a film adaptation. So they've been working on this, and there were so many directors coming in and out of this, so many writers, and when you just get a bunch of scripts and a bunch of directors, all these different ideas are going to be pushed in here that the main director is going to have to go through and all sorts of stuff, and they ended up being able to make it. In 2017, they made the cast, and they casted everybody, and they had everybody, they had the whole cast, they had the director, Kenneth Branagh, they had that for like 5 years, I think. They established that in 2015, but that it didn't stop there. It still struggled because it was supposed to be released, I think, in last year, in 2019, because the trailer came out like a year and a half ago, which is very different from the actual film, and then it finally got announced. They were going to push it back they were going to make it August 2019, and then it got pushed to March 2020, and then the whole coronavirus thing happened, and it got pushed to Disney Plus. And honestly, this was probably the best solution because it didn't. This is one of the examples when development hell ruined a movie, because this movie just, there's so many different things, and I think the problem is the script went through so many hands. The script, I'll get into that later. Actually, I'll get into that right now. The next reason that this film is as bad as it is the script. Well, I do consider myself a movie buff. I don't really see myself as I never really saw myself as a critic. So I never really went after scripts or just the tone or the way. I never went after like the specifics of the film, like the filmmaking. So I never really pointed out bad scripts in movies or good scripts in movies. I never really thought about it that much until I saw this film. I don't know if I've seen a script this bad in a long time. The script is terrible. I mean, it's terrible. I think it's, like I mentioned earlier, it's been through development hell, and there's so many people working on it. The script is so bad. If the movie was just a silent film, it would probably be like still a lot better, just because there'd be no words. Yeah, I mean, you'd be a little confused, but you'd still, like if you had, it would be so much better than what it was, because it sounds so fake. Like the script, like Josh Gad's character, like, is so bad. Like, the script is just so hard to hear, and it makes it terrible. Like, I think this is the main reason this film is so bad, because, like, it's it's like it was written by a elementary schooler. Like, I don't think, I think this script writer, whoever wrote this, I think you're gonna have a hard time finding a job. It's that bad. I mean, it's just terrible. It distracts you from the whole film, and it just brings out everyone's bad acting because everyone sounds so fake. Like, as much as I hate to say it, Josh Gad's every word he says, he's not a bad actor. He's a good actor, but every word he says sounds so fake. And the bad script, Artemis Fowl, it makes the actor who played Artemis Fowl look terrible. Like, I mean, like, just whatever he has, it just, the script, someone should have not greenlit this. Someone should have, like, worked on the script longer than they did. I mean, it sounds terrible. Like, I mean, the directing is really good. Like, it's Kenneth Branagh, but he's gonna be dragged down. This whole movie's dragged down by the script because it's what makes it so stupid. Like, the logic, and it's just, and not only that, but it's so packed. I think that's part of the reason the script is so bad as well, because it's trying to cover so much into so little. So they just shove a bunch of stuff, and you basically are spewing everything, and it's so rushed. And that is another reason, this is the third reason why I think this movie was bad. What it went wrong. I think this is one of the other things that went wrong. It is the runtime. Man, is it short for a movie like this? Normally movies like this, book adaptations, are pretty long. I mean, they're good size. They're normally like 2 hours to 2.5. I mean, the Harry Potter movies, the first ones were almost like 3 hours. It's because there's just so much information to put in from the books into the movie. This film didn't do that. This film rushed everything, like, into the script. Like, they were just basically telling you everything. And that is probably one of the reasons why the script was so bad, and probably one of the reasons why the movie was so bad. It's because this film is only 94 minutes long, which is extremely short for a movie like this, and it is pretty short for a movie in general. Because normally movies span from like 90 minutes to 120 minutes. So for a movie to, just like the first movie in a franchise, because I think this was planned on being a franchise before it did so awful, like they normally, are like 2 hours because they have a lot to set up. This movie crammed everything together. I don't know why. I don't know why they did this. I don't know what was the decision behind this, because I think if it was 2 hours, the script could have been a lot better because it could have been a lot smoother, could have been a lot better paced. It could have settled stuff out. You didn't have to be told everything. You'd be able to set up characters more. You'd be able to see the environment. You'd be able to see the stakes. It just was a very bad decision to set it up. And because of the bad script, and because it was so rushed, it kind of shows everybody's flaws in the film. The actors, because the script is terrible, and it's kind of, because it's rushed, and because the script is so terrible, because it's rushed, it really shows the actors that should not be in this film. Like, I mean, not because they're bad actors themselves, but it didn't go well. And that is the fourth and final issue with this film. The casting. Normally, as someone who watches a movie, I don't like criticizing how people act, like their acting skills. I don't like criticizing it because I mean it's kind of unfair. Because it's just kind of like someone put this much effort into something, and I just kind of see it as impolite to call them out on their hard work being terrible. But in this instant, I'll make an exception. This script really just shows that there's some people in this film that should not be in this film, including the kid playing Artemis Fowl and Josh Gad. Now, I'm not saying Josh Gad's a very good actor, so I'm not saying he's a bad actor. And this kid, this is his first movie. the kid who plays Artemis Fowl, they searched for thousands of actors, and why they chose him, I have no clue. Because I don't know if it's the script. I don't even know if it's him, because everything he says sounds so fake. It is. He's just. You can't get interested in him. He's just kind of like. I don't know. He just comes off as like weird, and it's just like he makes no sense because he'll be like, "You're my prisoner. Can I trust you?" And like it just like, no, it's so choppy, and I think that's the script, but it just really makes the kid look bad. So I think they should have had a better choice of the kid. And Josh Gad, as much as I love the man for his work, he shouldn't have played the character he played, because he played this really gruff, gravelly voiced person, and he is a very high pitched, lovable guy. They don't mix. They just don't go together, and it really shows. I don't know why they chose him. Like Jason Momoa, his character kind of looked like Jason Momoa a little bit. So I just feel like Jason Momoa would have fit it better. You know, I just don't think he was the right choice for it, because he's trying to be a character that he normally isn't, which I admire him for, but it just didn't work out, and it really didn't look that good. And I just feel if they chose the right people, it still probably would have been as bad, but maybe to the point where it's just like so bad it's good, you know? To the redeemable part. So it could just be like a guilty pleasure movie. This movie is just bad. I mean, it just went really wrong. And it had a lot of potential. I mean, the trailers didn't look bad. The kid looked good. That's because he didn't really say that much, but once he starts talking, really goes off the rails. So yeah, those are the 4 reasons this movie went off the tracks. It could have been a lot better. It really could have. It had so much potential. I mean, the books were beloved, so I'm sure if you're a fan of this, just steer clear. Just steer clear of it. I haven't read the books, but I can assure you that if you like the books, you will despise this movie. Because I've never read the books, and I really don't like this movie. It's just not good. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this kind of review for Artemis Fowl on why it was so bad. Sorry that you know, if you were looking forward to this film and it very disappointed you a lot. My grammar's just whack today. But yeah, this is just really a disappointment. And but thank you so much for watching my review on it. If you like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe, and make sure to hit the notification bell, so if you want to hear the other movies that went bad and why they went wrong, you can check them out and be tuned of it. So thank you so much for watching. It was really fun making a review. I love making reviews. So just, yeah, thanks y'all.